$30,000 in student loan debts, and that sucks. It sucks. But I'm surviving it. And I'm sharing this shit on the internet and embarrassing the fuck out of myself so that other people, especially 18-year-olds, realize don't go into private student loan debt.
Today, we're going to be talking about student loan debt. Everyone's panicking with these student loans. You can't escape and you can't ignore them. The pressure is on with no way out.
I cannot sleep because I am so stressed out about my med school student debt. I just matched a few days ago into my dream program that I could have never imagined I would ever match into. And still, it's hard to fully enjoy because all I can think about is this. This is terrifying. This is my current student debt that I checked most recently. I'm pretty sure this has all 4 years included. And this is my bank account currently. I'm actually so excited about the $28 because that's more than I usually have. I did some calculations trying to figure out when this would all be paid off if I did like minimum payments or tried to pay it off aggressively. And I just got so overwhelmed that I had to stop. I'm seriously concerned about my ability to ever own a home or even buy a car. I did not go into medicine because of the money, but I did think that I would be financially stable at minimum. And for some context, I'm the first in my family to go to college and to go to med school, and I thought there would be a time where kind of all that hard work would pay off and we would struggle less and just feel more stable. So yeah, it's just a little bit jarring and I don't know what to do.
$500,000 in student loans. That is so insane. And look at how much interest that's in there. Yeah, she's cooked.
Have they lost their mind? I just got an email saying that they're removing the SAVE program and all payments are going to be like readjusted unless you opt in for a different repayment program. Mind you, I didn't even know I was in a SAVE program because I'm already paying a lot for my monthly payment for my student loans. But now it's saying I would pay anywhere from like $500 to $1,000 a month, a car note on my loan payment from years ago, mind you, years. I've already forgiven myself, okay? They've lost their minds. I am not paying that. I'm not paying that.
She's saying she's not going to pay it back. And yeah, I understand why. But in the future, the consequences are going to bite her back.
So I just did some absolutely horrific math. I was looking at my student loans and how much I owe, and I just want to give you a little example of how horrible these and crippling these student loans can be for a lot of people. So the principal amount of money that I owe the federal government at this point in my life is $396,945.67. That number already is insane. Okay, but all right. Here comes the scary part. The current interest rate on that loan for me is 5.875% per year. So that breaks down to $1,943.38 of interest that grows on my principal amount per month. I'm looking at the numbers, that's why I keep reading something. But okay, so I owe just about $2,000 of interest on my loan, okay? Now, as a resident, I make right now $4,054.98 per month, okay? So based on those numbers, the amount of interest per month that I owe comes out to be 47.9% of my current monthly paycheck. And that's the interest. I'm not making any progress on the principal loan. And that's if I put half of my paycheck towards this loan. Are you kidding me? That is a crazy amount of money. And like, I get it. Eventually, as a physician, as an attending physician, I will be able to pay this off. But right now, our goal is to just pay off the interest every year so that the second I get my full attending paycheck, we can start actually making progress on this loan. But I just think this is so ridiculous, honestly. Like, that is such an insane amount of money. And, like, we make so little as residents, and, like, how would I even... This would grow to be, if I didn't pay any of this interest off, this would end up being like $600,000 by the time I was done residency. That's crazy. What is this?
That is so crazy. Like, half of her paychecks are going just towards the interest alone. But imagine how many more are going through the same thing.
I am going to pay off almost $200,000 worth of debt in the next 2 years. Let's chat about it. I went to law school and I'm in almost $200,000 of student debt, and my plan is to pay that off before my husband graduates from dental school. As a surprise to him, he actually got dental school debt free because he is signed on with the military. So the military is paying for his school, and then we will give 3 years of service back to the military. He has 2 years left in dental school, and so I'm going to have all of this debt paid off by June of 2028. Right now I have $197,000, like I talked about. We have 26 months until June of 2028, which means the monthly payment I'm going to have to make is $7,600 a month, just about. I have a pretty aggressive plan as to how we're going to do this. I definitely have invested in creating side hustles and finding other ways to create income for us. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, I'll be sharing that later. I hope you all follow along. I hope you all will support me in this journey. It is very weird to put it out there and to talk about how much debt I have. It's definitely been something that I felt is very, very taboo, but putting it out there, I think, makes it a little bit easier. So follow along as I surprise my husband paying off $200,000 worth of debt.
Her husband is smart to have the military pay the debt off. But for her, I'm not sure how she's going to pay all that off in just 2 years.
This is going to be my last attempt to make this video. Hi, I am $180,000 in student loan debt. 160 of that is federal, no, 160 of that is private student loan debt. The rest is federal student loan debt. I pay around $2,400 a month, just shy of that for my private student loans, and then just shy of $300 for my federal student loans. So it's pushing $3,000 a month for my student loans. Plus I have my car payment and my car insurance and my rent. So yeah, I live paycheck to paycheck. I have multiple jobs. I have a job I have throughout the week. I have a job I have on the weekends. I have a side hustle. I work around 70 hours a week, paycheck to paycheck. And guess what happens in the last month? Something happens, clerical error, I don't know, $300 missing from my paycheck. Cool, we'll add it to the next one. They do, and then a different clerical error happens, and I lose $300 from the next paycheck. And then, on top of that, after that gets sorted out, the next week, I have someone, I don't live anywhere near Michigan. I live states away from Michigan. Someone has physically swiped my debit card at a mini mart in Michigan. And I called the fraud center and I said, hey, I did not swipe my card at a mini mart in Michigan. And they say, are you sure you didn't get gas? And I said, ma'am, $100 and some dollars. First of all, that's more than just gas. I have a 13-gallon tank. It takes $40 to fill it. And I filled it like 3 days prior to this like fraudulent charge. So I was like, no, I did not just forget I spent the money. Like, I live so paycheck to paycheck, I know where every dime is, every nickel, every penny. Even though they stopped making them, every penny, I know where it's allocated to. I do. So I'm trying to reason with them. I'm like, this was not me. We have to figure this out. And they go, well, you physically swiped the card. I go, no, I didn't. They go, well, that must mean that someone had physically copied your card. So you must.
Sounds like pure chaos just by the sound of all that dealing with debt, your job, and bills. I'm not sure how she's getting out of this. But anyways, guys, like and subscribe.